Hi guys, we today we are attempting the question of ZigZag conversion. It is the question number 6 in LeetCode. It is a medium level question. It has been asked by companies over and over again. This question was initially made by PayPal during their hiring season in an OA round. So this is not one of the most liked question. As you can see, it has only 6.4k likes and 12.8k dislikes, so like double dislikes. So but it is a good question for concept building and stuff. So let's get started on this question. So what the question says is the string, what the given string PayPal is hiring is written in a zigzag pattern on a given number of rows like this. You may want to display the pattern in a fixed font for better legibility, like they're like displaying this. So initially what the question says is you would be given a string like this, the PayPal is hiring, and you will be given the number of rows, like another variable, the number of rows, which can have an integer value. So what will happen is, like, see over here, when we split it out in the number of rows in a zigzag pattern, it comes as PayPal is hiring. So this is what happens right over here. So what we need to return is this PAHNAPLSISIIGYIR. This is what we need to return for num rows equals to 3. So the integer value that has been passed in our function string convert right over here, num rows is equals to 3. Then we have to return this string specifically. If you want to write the string, it will be like this. So it, as you can see, it has PAHNAPLSIIG and YIR. So another example that they have given us is when we change the number of rows to 4. So how this comes, the string comes out like this: PAPPAYPALISHIRING. So PayPal is hiring in this format, in a zigzag format, again containing 4 rows, right? So in this kind of situation, so you have to return PINALSIGYAHR and PI as right given over here as output. And for another case, like another test case, you can say there would be a number of row, there would be an integer value passed into the num rows, that would be 1. Or the thing would be that the string that has been passed is of you need to arrange it in a single row. So if you want to arrange a string in a single row, it is already arranged, so you just have to return the string itself. Okay, so I think this part is clear. So for better understanding, we'll go to the notepad. So see right over here, I have again like demonstrated the number of rows, the rows 3 and the rows 4. So you can just look it out over here. Now as you can see, okay, let me show you this exact conversion, right? Okay, so given string PayPal is hiring, this is a given string in our example by LeetCode. Now what we do is we take two cases where the number rows is 3 and where the number rows is 4, right? Okay, now there is this string PayPal is hiring, right? So in this string what happens, unlike like the example, it is divided into 3 rows and there are the digits written all over it in a zigzag pattern. This is how like the whole this string gets formed, and just we have to return PAHNAPLSIIGYIR. So I think this must be clear till now. So what happens is we should, let me take this example because it has like more rows and stuff. I'll just copy this. Huh. So now it's in the right position. So what we see over here is to reach from this to this, we have to take jumps, right? Here is the first jump, the second jump, the third jump, the fourth jump, the fifth jump, the sixth jump. So from here to here, we need 6 jumps, right? 6 jumps. Similarly, we would require 6 jumps to jump from here to here. Like we require 6 jumps again. So for the first row, we require 6 jumps. Let's just see it out in this manner, right? Again, you see for the last row, we will require 6 jumps. See, 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, and 4 jump. This is 5 and this is 6. So for the last row, we again require 6 jumps. So here we know the number of rows in this is around 4. So for 4 rows, we can see if we want to derive a function, we can write it as the number of rows given over here minus, if you do a minus of 1 right over here and you multiply it by 2, it will give you the number of jumps, right? Now if you place it right over here, this 4 minus 1 into 2, that gives you 3, sorry 6, my mistake, 6. So there is 6 jumps, right? So over here, when we do 6 jumps, we reach from this index to this index and to this index. So like we can print the string in this format for the first row and the last row. Now for the middle rows, if we take 6 jumps from here, you can reach over here. taking 6 jumps. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, from here you can reach here. But the second row also contains elements like L and I, which you are not reaching when you are taking 6 jumps. So we also have to reach them in an algorithm. So let's find out how many steps those particular elements take. So from A and to reach L, we would require 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps, right? From S again to reach I, we require 4 jumps. Here we require 4 jumps, and again here we require 4 jumps. So for the second row, we will require 4 and 6 jumps in coordination, right? Right over here, you will require 2 jumps to jump from Y to A. Why? Because as you can see, it forms an V structure. It forms an V structure, and whenever you lose a V structure, you lose 2 rows at a time. So from 4, it directly jumps to 2. So I can see there can be a possibility of a formula. So if you can see it like I do, you will see 4 minus 1, right, for this case, into 2 minus 2 into the row numbers. Suppose this is 0, 1, 2, and 3. The row number, suppose I give 1, and there is another case where we take 4 minus 1 into 2 minus 2 into 2. So for this case, we come out as 3 into 2 minus 2 into 1, which comes out as 4, which is the number of jumps required. And here we come out to be 6 minus 4, which comes out to be 2, which is the required jump right over here. Okay, so how did I get it? Because simply it always decreases by the multiple of 2, right? So we can apply this formula and this formula, the one with 6 jumps, and including both of them, we get a formula that for normal elements we would apply the formula of number of rows, I denote it as n minus 1 into 2. And for the left out middle elements, we apply the formula of n minus 1 into 2 minus 2 into r, where r is the row number and n is number of rows. So that gets confused right over here. N is the number of rows and r is the row number. So right in this example, you can say the number of rows is 4, and if you want to pick out the value of L, so for L, the row number is 1, because in L this would come as 0, this would come as 1, 2, and 3. So for L, the number of row is 1. S and I also the same. For A and R, however, we have the number of rows as 2. So I think you have understood what I was trying to like convey the message right over here, like what you need to do to form an algorithm. So let's try this algorithm that we have just made into this example of where there is 3. Okay, I think we need to drag it down. I don't know why it's not pasting right over here, but okay, we'll drag it down. So we got this. Now we have our two formulas just above this. So let's find it out, this works or not. So for these elements, they're not the middle elements, these are normal elements. I call it as a normal element. You could call it anything you want. But for these elements, you will apply the formula which is given as n minus 1 into 2. So here the number of rows are given as 3. So 3 minus 1 we take into 2, we take it as 2 into 2, it is 4. So you see 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, and 4 jump we reach here. Also if you want to start over here and end over here, it is 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jump, and 4 jump. So our formula works. Wow, formula works. Now to check for the middle elements. Sorry, this is, I don't know what I wrote right over here. Works, right? Now to check for the middle elements, the elements P, S, and I. If I want to go from A, L, and I would require the formula n minus I into 2 minus 2 into R, where R is the row number. So the row number right over here is 1, we can see. So I think we will require n minus 1 is 3 minus 1, that is 2, and into 2 is 4. I just jumped a step over here, nothing major. And then R, the value of R is 1, so 4 minus 2 is 2 into 1 is 2, and then 4 minus 2 is 2. So if we take 2 jumps, we will reach over here. That is right, because from A, I need 1 jump to reach to Y and another jump to reach to P. Similarly for L, I need 1 jump to reach to I and another jump to reach to S. So our formula works. Now let's code it. I'll be going to the LeetCode platform. where we can easily code the solution. So here we are in the LeetCode platform. Always do notice that you must see the constraint of the solutions. So here, as you can see, the number of rows can vary from 0 to 1 to 100. So there is no case for 0. So we don't need to check that case. For 1, we need to do this. But we have already told you that I've already told you that for 1, we will return the string itself. Because if we need to return the string in a single row of zigzag, so single row you cannot create a zigzag. Thus, you will need to you will have to return the string itself. There was too much talking. Now let's code it. Okay, fine. Right over here, what I did is I just I just returned my s whenever number of row is less than 1. You can write it equals to 1. None is the problem. But we wrote it as less than 1 in case if a case is given where number is 0 for such cases. But it would not be given in this kind of the constraint are defined. But like you can do whatever you want, right? So we'll take a vector of strings, we'll name it v, and then we'll take it for num rows, and right, done. After creating the vector, we'll initialize j equals to 0. We'll initialize j equals to 0 and dir equals to -1, right? You'll understand later on why we use that as we go down the code. Again, what we need to do is we need to run a for loop where we'll run from I equals to 0, then I is less than the string's length. Sorry. I plus plus. Nice one. Now, within the for loop, we'll check if j equals to num rows minus 1 or j equals to 0. Sorry. Right away. Yeah. Now what we'll do, we'll return dir. We'll not return, we'll just like update the value of dir by multiplying it with -1. So this makes the value of dir 1, right? So if this is not the case, we'll come out of the case and we'll add in v of j the value of s of I, right? Again, if there will be if statement, if dir equals to 1, then what should we do? Simply j plus plus, we'll go for the next element, right? And over here, if this is not the case, then j minus minus, that would do. Now we'll take a string result over here and again run a for loop. Auto. Okay. And let's suppose v, because we have taken the v right over there, and then we would increment, we'll add the the value of x into this and return the result. Okay, I think I made a mistake. Yeah, so our case got accepted. See, all of our cases are returning right. So we just submit it right over here and check if we get an acceptance rate. So we got one of the best answers. We got a 4 ms runtime, which beats 94.47 users, and we get a 10.58 MB of memory users, which beats 67.63 users of C++. So I would consider this as a very good solution. If you have any solutions in your mind or you want to solve the problem in any other way than the one described over here, you can pin in the comments and you can give any suggestions to me to improve the how you want the video for the next time. This would be it from me. Please do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.